Bryan Lindros is a Canadian former professional ice hockey player. Lindros played junior hockey in the Ontario Hockey League for the Oshawa Generals prior to being chosen first overall in the 1991 NHL Entry Draft by the Quebec Nordiques. He refused to play for the Nordiques and was eventually traded to the Philadelphia Flyers in June 1992 in exchange for a package of players and draft picks including Peter Forsberg. During his OHL career, Lindros led the Generals to a Memorial Cup victory in 1990. Prior to being drafted in 1991, Lindros captured the Red Tilson Trophy as the most outstanding player in the OHL, and also was named the CHL Player of the Year. Lindros was born in London, Ontario, but grew up in Toronto. Lindros began his National Hockey League career with the Flyers during the 1992 Euro 93 season. He was an exemplary power forward, and averaged more than a point per game. His hard-nosed style caused him to miss significant time with injuries, and he had many problems with concussions. Lindros captured the Hart Memorial Trophy and Lester B. Pearson Award after the lockout-shortened 1994 Euro 95 season. In August 2001, Lindros joined the New York Rangers via trade. He then signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs for the 2005 Euro 06 season before finishing his career in 2006 Euro 07 with the Dallas Stars. Internationally, Lindros represented Canada at the World Junior Championships 3 times, winning gold medals in 1990 and 1991. He is Canada's all-time points leader at the World Junior Championships with 31 points, 5 points ahead of Jordan Ebel and Braden Shen. Lindros has also represented Canada's senior team at the World Hockey Championships, leading the squad in scoring at the 1993 tournament. In Olympic play, Lindros represented Canada 3 times, winning a silver medal in 1992 and gold in 2002. Personal life: the oldest son of Carl Lindros and Bonnie Russell Lindros, Eric has Swedish heritage. The name Lindros means rose of the linden tree. His great-grandfather Axel immigrated to Canada from Bredared, a small village in Sweden, and Eric is the 3rd generation of the Lindros family to be born in Canada. His father Carl Lindros received a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Western Ontario, and became a chartered accountant. Lindros' mother Bonnie is a registered nurse. Lindros has 1 brother, Brett, and 1 sister, Robin. Lindros' younger brother Brett played for the New York Islanders and retired early on May 1, 1996, due to post-concussion syndrome. The book Fire on Ice, co-written by Randy Starkman and published in October 1991 by HarperCollins, chronicled the life and early hockey career of Lindros. Lindros is married since 2012 to Kaina Lamarche, a native Quebecer and former president of the North American wing of Travelex. The Lindroses live in Toronto and are close friends with the Goldie Hawn Kurt Russell family, passionate hockey fans who are nearby neighbors at the Lindros Vacation Cottage in Muskoka, Ontario. Hockey career Junior career As a teenage power forward playing minor hockey, Lindros became nationally famous both for his scoring feats and his ability to physically dominate players older than himself. He attended Monarch Park and later St. Michael's College School in Toronto with his brother and fellow hockey player, Brett. Both brothers at one time or another played for the school's Metro Junior B St. Michael's Buzzers before moving up to the OHL. Lindros' play made him the most highly valued amateur player in North America, and he was often nicknamed the Next One, a reference to Wayne Gretzky's moniker the Great One. Throughout his career, Lindros has been tagged with various other nicknames, including the Big E. The hype around Lindros during his early career led to an exclusive deal with sports card manufacturer Score. Attempting to leverage this arrangement as much as possible, he was even featured on a baseball card showing him as a third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays, although the closest he came to a professional baseball career was taking batting practice one day with the Blue Jays. Lindros refused to sign with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds after being drafted from St. Michael's. Greyhounds owner Phil Esposito had drafted him anyway, enabling Esposito to sell his share in the team at a higher price. Lindros was traded to the Oshawa Generals instead, and when they played the Greyhounds, Some Greyhound players wore black armbands in protest of Lindros' refusal to play for their team. 2. He played parts of 3 seasons for the Generals from 1990 to 1992. During that time, he scored 180 goals, 200 assists, 380 points and had 437 penalty minutes in 157 games played. Lindros helped lead the Generals to the 1990 J. Ross Robertson Cup, and a 1990 Memorial Cup victory. During the 1990 Euro 91 season, Lindros won the Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy as top scorer, the Red Tilson Trophy as MVP, the CHL Player of the Year award and the CHL Top Draft Prospect award. The Generals returned to the Robertson Cup finals, facing Sault Ste. Marie. The series was one of the more dramatic in OHL history given Lindros' attitude toward the team, with fans from the Sioux loudly jeering him every time he touched the puck. The Greyhounds upset the heavily favored defending champions in a 6-game series, winning the last game on home ice. On March 6, 2008, the Generals retired his jersey number 88, the second number to be retired by the franchise, and it was declared Eric Lindros Day in Oshawa. 1991 NHL Entry Draft Lindros' entry to the NHL echoed his experience in the OHL. Lindros was selected first overall by the Quebec Nordiques in the 1991 NHL Entry Draft. Lindros had signaled in advance that he would never play for the Nordiques, citing the city's isolation, lack of marketing potential, and French character. The team selected him anyway. Nordiques president Marcel Aubert publicly announced that they would make Lindros the centerpiece of their franchise turnaround, and refused to trade Lindros, saying that he would not have a career in the NHL as long as he held out. Because of Lindros' popularity and hype, it is alleged that NHL president Gil Stein intervened to get the Nordiques to trade him, as it would otherwise damage the image of the league. While he awaited a trade, Lindros spent the time playing with the Generals and also participated in the 1992 Winter Olympics, winning a silver medal with Canada. At the 1992 NHL Entry Draft, the Nordiques worked out trades involving Lindros with both the Philadelphia Flyers and New York Rangers. The Flyers trade had the Nordiques receiving Steve Dutchson, Ron Hextall, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ritchie, the rights to Peter Forsberg, the Flyers' first-round pick in 1992 and 1993 and $15 million. The trade with the Rangers had the Nordiques receiving Tony Amonte, Alexei Korvalov, John Vanbiesbrouck, Doug Waite, 3 first-round picks and $12 million. Additionally, if Vanbiesbrouck was declared an unrestricted free agent, James Patrick would have replaced him in the deal. The Flyers, believing they had consummated their deal with the Nordiques first, filed a complaint and the NHL announced an independent arbitrator would be appointed. On June 30, 1992, 11 days after the draft, arbitrator Larry Bertuzzi ruled in favor of the Flyers. Bertuzzi determined that the Flyers and Nordiques had agreed to a trade 80 minutes before the Rangers and Nordiques had reached their agreement. Since the Flyers used the 1992 pick to select Ryan Sittler and Quebec had no interest in Sittler, the Flyers and Nordiques had to agree on a substitution for the pick. On July 21, Bertuzzi ruled that Chris Simon and the Flyers' 1994 first-round pick would be added to the trade. Philadelphia Flyers with his imposing physical strength and playmaking ability, Lindros established himself as the top player on a Flyers team that had perennially been in contention but always fell short. His time in Philadelphia would see him score points and become one of the most feared and dominating players in the NHL. In September 1994, Lindros succeeded Kevin Dineen as Flyers captain. Along with John LeClair and Michael Renberg, he played on the dreaded Legion of Doom line. He scored over 40 goals in each of his first 2 seasons and won the Hart Memorial Trophy as MVP in the lockout-shortened season of 1995 after scoring 29 goals and 41 assists in 46 games and leading the Flyers to their first playoff appearance in 6 years. Lindros led the Flyers to the 1997 Stanley Cup Finals, handily defeating the Pittsburgh Penguins, Buffalo Sabres and the New York Rangers in 5 games apiece. In the finals, however, the Flyers were swept in 4 games by the Detroit Red Wings. Lindros' only goal came with 14 seconds left in the third period of Game 4. As a franchise player, Lindros was expected to carry the team, but he had not lived up to expectations nor had he shown leadership during the finals series. Detroit head coach Scotty Bowman used the fitness-oriented defense pairing of Nicklas Lidström and Larry Murphy against Lindros' Legion of Doom line instead of sending out a Euro as everyone, including the Flyers, expected a Euro Vladimir Konstantinov to engage in a physical confrontation. In 1998, Lindros, at just 25 years of age, was ranked number 54th on the Hockey News list of the 100 greatest hockey players of all time. The only player of comparable age was 37th-ranked Jaromir Jagr, who was 26 at the time. Lindros' relationship with Flyers general manager Bobby Clarke soon deteriorated. He and Clarke feuded in the media, with Clarke questioning his toughness. Lindros spent many games on the injured reserve and suffered a series of concussions, the first in 1998 from a hit delivered by Pittsburgh's Darius Kasparaitis that sidelined him for 18 games. Lindros would suffer a second concussion in January 1999 that sidelined him for 2 games. During an April 1, 1999, game against the Nashville Predators, Lindros suffered what was diagnosed as a rib injury. Later that night, the teammate he was sharing a hotel room with, Keith Jones, discovered Lindros lying in a tub, pale and cold. In a call to the Flyers, the trainer was told to put Lindros on a plane that was returning to Philadelphia with injured teammate Mark Recchi. But Jones insisted that Lindros be taken to a nearby hospital and it was discovered Lindros had a collapsed lung caused by internal bleeding of his chest wall. Lindros' father wrote the Flyers a letter in which he stated that if the trainer had followed team orders, Eric would be dead, a statement supported by the doctors who treated him in Nashville. The 1999 Euro 2000 season would be Lindros' last as a Flyer. Having suffered his second concussion of the season in March, Lindros criticized the team's trainers for failing to diagnose a concussion as he played with symptoms following a hit he suffered in a game against the Boston Bruins 2 weeks prior. Clarke then stripped Lindros of the captaincy for his actions. Lindros sat out the remainder of the regular season and suffered another concussion while rehabilitating for a return to the lineup. Lindros ultimately returned for Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the New Jersey Devils. He scored the lone goal in a 2-1 Flyers loss, and in Game 7, suffered yet another concussion after a hit by Devils defenseman Scott Stevens. The Flyers lost Game 7, 2-1 in the series despite leading 3-1, and Lindros became a restricted free agent during the off-season. He refused to accept a two-way qualifying offer with a minor league provision from the Flyers, who still owned his rights. After Lindros was cleared to play in December, the Flyers refused to deal his rights to the Toronto Maple Leafs, as he preferred, and Lindros sat out the entire 2000 Euro 01 season. New York Rangers Bobby Clarke eventually traded Lindros to the New York Rangers on August 20, 2001, in exchange for Jan Lava Infinite, Kim Johnson, Pavel Brendel and a 2003 third-round draft choice. The Rangers would also receive a 2003 first-round draft pick if Lindros were to suffer a concussion in the pre-season or the first 50 games of the regular season, and did not return to action for at least 12 months. In 2001 Euro 02, Lindros averaged a little over a point a game with 37 goals and 36 assists for 73 points in 72 games. His impressive start also led to his 7th and final All-Star selection, but due to an injury he was unable to participate and was replaced by teammate Mike York. Though 2002 Euro 03 was the first injury-free season of his career, he struggled to match his previous season, scoring just 53 points in 81 games. In 2003 Euro 04, Lindros' 8th concussion limited him to just 39 games, though he did collect 32 points. He again became an unrestricted free agent after the season. Toronto Maple Leafs On August 11, 2005, after the NHL labor dispute had cancelled the 2004 Euro 05 season, Lindros signed a one-year, $1.55 million contract with the Maple Leafs for the 2005 Euro 06 season. After a steady start to his tenure with Toronto in which he recorded 22 points in 32 games, Lindros suffered a tear of a ligament in his left wrist against the Dallas Stars on December 10, 2005. After a 27-game absence, Lindros returned to the Toronto lineup on February 28, 2006, his 33rd birthday, against the Washington Capitals. His return was brief, however, as he re-injured his wrist while taking a slap shot in a game against the Ottawa Senators on March 4, effectively ending his season. He had surgery on the wrist at the Hand and Upper Limb Centre in London, Ontario, 2 days after the game. Dallas Stars and retirement Lindros signed a one-year contract for the 2006-07 season with Dallas on July 17, 2006. He would play in 49 regular season games collecting 26 points, and 3 games in the 2007 playoffs. Lindros officially announced his retirement on November 8, 2007, in London at the age of 34. Career achievements: 4th fastest player in NHL history to score 300 points behind Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux and Peter Angstrom. Yenasna 1/2. 4th fastest player in NHL history to score 400 points behind Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux and Peter Angstrom. Yenasna 1/2. 5th fastest player in NHL history to score 500 points behind Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Peter Angstrom. Yenasna 1/2 and Mike Bossy. 6th fastest player in NHL history to score 600 points behind Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Peter Angstrom. Yenasna 1/2, Mike Bossy and Jari Kurri. Post-playing career: on the day of his retirement, November 8, 2007, it was also announced that Lindros had donated $5 million to the London Health Sciences Centre. This donation supports programs such as the Fowler Kennedy Sport Medicine Clinic, and is one of the largest personal donations by a Canadian sports figure. On November 11, 2007, 3 days after his retirement, the National Hockey League Players Association appointed Lindros to the newly created position of NHLPA Ombudsman. Lindros had been involved with the organization throughout his career. Lindros cut ties with the NHLPA, however, on February 3, 2009, resigning as ombudsman after 15 months on the job. On May 9, 2010, Lindros, along with his mother Bonnie, supermodel actress Monica Schnarr and a few other Canadian notables, helped Habitat for Humanity Toronto by recognizing Mother's Day by building homes. On December 31, 2011, he played in the 2012 NHL Winter Classic alumni game between the New York Rangers and the Philadelphia Flyers. Transactions: June 22, 1991, a Euro drafted by the Quebec Nordiques with the first overall pick in the 1991 NHL Entry Draft. June 30, 1992, a Euro traded by the Quebec Nordiques to the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Steve Dutchson, Ron Hextall, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ritchie, Chris Simon, the rights to Peter Forsberg, Philadelphia's 1993 first-round draft pick, Philadelphia's 1994 first-round pick and $15 million. August 20, 2001, a Euro traded by the Flyers to the New York Rangers along with a conditional 2003 first-round pick in exchange for Pavel Brendel, Jan Lava Infinite, Kim Johnson and the Rangers' 2003 third-round pick. August 11, 2005, a Euro signed as a free agent with the Toronto Maple Leafs. July 17, 2006, a Euro signed as a free agent with the Dallas Stars. November 8, 2007, a Euro officially announced his retirement from the NHL at age 34. Awards: Junior Professional International Career statistics Regular season and playoffs International All-Star games International play, played for Canada in 1990 World Junior Championships, 1991 World Junior Championships, 1991 Canada Cup, 1992 World Junior Championships, 1992 Winter Olympics, 1993 World Championships, 1996 World Cup of Hockey, 1998 Winter Olympics, 2002 Winter Olympics. Quotes By Lindros. Right now my focus is the PA work, I'm not really concerned about the rest of it. But the last couple of years have been pretty frustrating in terms of not getting through without being injury-free. It's just frustrating. My decision to retire from professional hockey is something that I have been considering for some time and did not come easily. I will miss the day-to-day activity of being a member of a team, and the camaraderie that I developed with my teammates will never be forgotten. I played with the best, I played against the best it was a blast. It really truly was. I enjoyed myself immensely. About Lindros. He had it all, size, strength and finesse. It is unfortunate injuries cut his time in the NHL short, but he had a great career and left his mark on the game. John LeClair. Yes, based on his ability to play the game and based on his contributions as a player, I think you have to separate all the crap that went on. Particularly when he played for the Flyers, it was just outstanding, dominant hockey. The first of the huge, big men with small man skill. Bobby Clark, on whether Lindros should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. References. External links, career statistics and player information from NHL.com, or EliteProspects.com, or Hockey-Reference.com, or Legends of Hockey, or the Internet Hockey Database. October 2011 interview with the hockey writers, Great Expectations Talented Lindros, ESPN.com, Bob Carter. Lindros snubs Quebec.